going on?
Yeah.
Everything alright?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
not stopping you or anything.
Okay.
We just want to make sure you pulled over, so.
Okay. Was that like a test?
Huh?
Was that like a test?
No, not at all.
Okay.
We're just checking if you're cool.
Oh yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I saw you. Did you light me up back there too?
Huh?
Did you light me up back there over too?
Oh no, we were just turning around.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a sweet car.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah. What year is it?
2021.
Nice.
It's on airbags, air suspension. What's that? Yeah. It's my daily. So nothing crazy.
Nice.
Yep. Thank you. Bro, there they are again. Bro, so I was running course and I was going a little bit, like probably 10 over the limit, and then they passed me and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was going fast. I was like, and then when I saw my rearview mirror, they like lit their thing up. And I was like, oh snap. And then I went to the lake, it was closed. So I turned around, we were passing each other like this. I was like, oh my gosh. I smiled at them. I gave them the biggest smile, bro. I gave them the biggest smile. And then they turned around and they lit me up and I pulled over. And they were like, we're not pulling you over. We're just making sure you're cool. I was like, oh, did I do anything? They're like, no, just making sure you're cool. They were asking about my car. Yeah, but anyway, guys, you know the gist of it. Let's go get into today's video. I be forgetting which side the gas is on. It's on the right side. Oh yeah, so we have no gas per usual. I know it's pretty bad to wait till your tank is out because like it starves your fuel pump, but I like to YOLO it. Let's go see how many miles we have left. Ooh, we have blinking miles left, guys. Right on the dot. Let me put you guys on something real quick. So you're gonna download the Chevron app. This is my Chevron app right there. When you're like a new member of it, for 3 Phillips at Chevron, you get $1 off per gallon. I've been doing this, and my last Phillips have been like $3.07 per gallon, $4 per gallon, and it's way better compared to that whack stuff over there. How much is it? Like $5.04. So yeah, you just put in your card information. Right when you go outside, you just say which pump you're at. It automatically knows which gas station you're at, and then it just drops the number, and then you start filling up.
When I touch down, the rain keep falling. Better hold me and just keep stalling, 'cause I don't ever wanna leave when I'm all in. You look better on my side. Yeah, you always stand on my.
Now my whole gallon is $4.99 per gallon. Way better than $5.99 per gallon. Extremely better than the summer when gas was like $7. Just like that, for 14.98 gallons, it only cost me $67. So California is notoriously known for being one of the most strictest states when it comes to modifying your car bumper, to the top, to the very bottom of your own vehicle. Since I began getting into cars and getting into the whole car community, I began to see the ins and the outs of the whole car scene with car modifications, citations, and all the flaws that come with living in a city where law enforcement is super strict on modified vehicles. Now, every other state is going to have a different level of intensity when it comes to law enforcement harassing you with your vehicle, from low, medium to high. But where I live in Southern California, or California in general, they are very strict of what you can and what you can't do to modify your car. Now, over here in California, what I've experienced are different kinds of encounters with law enforcement. When it comes to getting in trouble for modifications or anything that you've done to your vehicle, you can face verbal warnings, paper warnings, fixed tickets, citations, or what is known as a state referee. I've actually personally never been state refed in my life, but a lot of my friends have actually been state refed for their modified vehicles. And a state ref is basically a terrible treatment of a fix-it ticket. Now, if you guys have ever had a smog check, a state ref is basically like a smog check and a fix-it ticket with a citation received all into one. It's that intense. Now, I'd say that the thing that sucks the most about getting state ref, from what I've seen, at least from my friends and other people, you're basically suspended from driving your own car. So when the police cites you with your ticket and sends you to go see the state ref, you can't drive your car unless it's for work or for school. Leisure driving and cruising is off the list. However, I do know that there is a loophole with the whole state ref thing. You don't have to go through the whole process. You can actually pay it off. Price will vary depending on what your violation is, and it will be super, super expensive. I know one of my homies, Jaden, he got fined for loud exhaust and an intake, and his ticket to pay it off was $800. So you can imagine how much worse it could be if you had more modifications than that. California is a cruel place to be a car guy, guys. I'm not gonna lie. But you know what? Let's go ahead and begin this video. Here are the top 6 modifications that are actually illegal here in California. So this is gonna be a very common one for almost any car, whether they're modified or not. This is something that a lot of people get. but it is window tinting. Window tinting is super illegal in California. Now, as far as I'm concerned with the California Vehicle Code, you can have these rear pieces tinted as dark as you want. However, when it comes to the front sides and the front windshield, these cannot be tinted at all. These are like absolutely off limits. Per the California Vehicle Code 26708, it is illegal to place anything on the window here or here because it does obstruct the driver's vision. So since these rear pieces can be as dark as you want them to be, the side windows for the driver and the passenger can only be 70%. And if you guys have seen 70%, it's basically no tint at all. It's bare glass. You can imagine how much it sucks to be able to have your windows still transparent. As for the front windshield, it can have no tint at all except for a 4-inch strip that is, I'm not sure how dark, but I know you can have a 4-inch strip, so that's like from here to over here. Now, I find this law to be pretty dumb. The main reason why I have window tint, aside from it looking very cool and aggressive on your car, is for security and safety purposes. Now, I leave my car in open parking lots for hours, sometimes for a whole day, mostly when I go to school or park my car outside on the street. And some places in Southern California aren't really known to be the most civil or safest when it comes to having car security. A lot of crackheads that will look inside your window and break it down and grab whatever is inside. And me, I do leave my valuables in my car at times, such as my airlift controller, my cob access port, any other valuable that I have inside. Of course, my whole airlift setup. It would suck a lot if those got stolen, especially since they're not the cheapest equipment. Now, of course, any thief can still break my windows or open my doors and grab whatever is inside. But when you don't have tint on your window for them to see inside, you're basically giving them the opportunity to scan your vehicle and see what's inside before they break in. Having tint just gives you more peace of mind and it just lowers their chance of giving them the opportunity of breaking into your vehicle. So we have 5% all around from the sides and to the back. And then when we get to the front, we actually have a 50% windshield that we've got all this done from jet black window tinting. And on top here, we have a black matte vinyl just because the windshield is super big. So when I'm sitting inside, there's so much light that enters. A lot of other cars don't have windshields that are as big as these Subaru ones. This is 50% outside and this is the outside. There's barely much of a difference. And it just helps gather that black hue to the glass of your window. I'd rather pay off a window ticket than give a thief the opportunity to break into my vehicle and steal all of my belongings. Now this next mod is going to be one of the top reasons that a lot of car enthusiasts and a lot of car guys get pulled over and state refed here in California. Now in California, it is extremely illegal to modify or change something that brings the air into the engine and brings air outside of the engine. It affects emissions and California does not like that at all. So one day if a cop pulls you over and asks you to pop the hood, he is going to be looking for any shiny parts that connects to the exhaust. So he's going to look at your headers, your downpipe, your J-pipe, whatever that you have, and he's also going to be looking at your intake. Most of the time that gives it away for your intake is if you have an open box and they could see the air cone filter in here. Without a CARB executive order number, you will get state refed when they see that. Basically, if a cop sees a bunch of pipes, crazy colored charge pipes, or crazy colored intake pipes, or headers, anything that's shiny that stands out that is not plastic, dirty, or stock, a cop will assume that it's modified. They will ask for a CARB executive order number. If they don't see it, get ready to get that state ref, guys. So if a cop pulls you over and start tracking from the intake all the way over to the filter and deems it as modified or that they don't like it, they're gonna go find you and state ref you with a vehicle code 27156, which is basically modified emissions control. And that vehicle code requires you to go to the state ref. So you're automatically gonna get the sticker in the back of your ticket that requires you to get a state ref. Now, most of the California boys know that if a cop asks you to pop your hood, it's not gonna end so well. Unless you have stock components under your hood, it's not gonna end well for you guys. Now for this third one, a lot of people in different states and different countries can relate to this one. California is not the most lenient when it comes to this, but we're definitely not the most strictest, if I would say. But this one violates the vehicle code 5200, and it is if you don't have a front license plate on your vehicle, on the front bumper, you can get fined. Now, having no front license plate is an infraction, and you are able to get fined up to $176 for something like this. Lucky for me though, I do have a retractable front license plate that I have on my car. So when I know that I'm in a heated area where I can potentially get pulled over for not having my front license plate, I just quickly pull it out and just drive like it's there. I tried not to make this the biggest deal as it's just a front license plate. I put it away when I'm taking pictures, videos, or when I go to car meets, or just want my car to look good. And it's a pretty cool mod to have, especially since I live in California, Southern California in particular, where they're pretty strict with the front license plate thing. It just gives the police, highway patrol, and the sheriff another reason to pull you over, and why would you take that chance? Now, I know a lot of boys who don't put their license plate on their front bumpers, but they put it like over here, over there on their dash. Sometimes they put it on their window visor. I think you're better off just leaving it off, because when you're driving, most cops don't recognize the front bumper, but they will recognize that you do have your license plate on your dash, and it just gives them an easier chance to pull you over and cite you for that. I do have some friends and know a lot of people who have gone the lifetime of their vehicle without putting a front license plate on their front bumper, but I personally have gotten pulled over twice for not having a front license plate, and it absolutely sucks. In fact, there was this one time we were driving Jonathan's WRX and we went to LA, and I was driving the car and we got pulled over and he got cited for having no front license plate. The cop was being generous. I feel like he was gonna cite him for even more stuff, but he was being generous. He cited him for not having a front license plate. Now, this is a pretty common reason that a lot of people get pulled over in California, and it's for having a loud exhaust, or a modified exhaust, if you want to call it. California has a vehicle code that prohibits you from amplifying your exhaust or removing any of your mufflers or having a modified exhaust that exceeds 95 decibels. However, it does get a little bit confusing. Now, California law enforcement will fine you for your exhaust for two reasons at the same time, which will be for affecting emissions and for amplifying your sound. Now, if you get pulled over for your exhaust, a California police officer can cite you with the California Vehicle Code 27150, which basically means that your car is not equipped with a muffler or you did something to amplify the sound. Or they can get you with the Vehicle Code of 27151, which basically means that you've done something to amplify or increase the sound that is emitted by the motor. Now, there are three different things that can happen when you get pulled over for having an exhaust. First, you can get a citation for having a loud exhaust, having no mufflers, producing excessive sounds. The second one, a police officer can tell you to turn your car back on, hold your car at a certain RPMs, and they will determine whether your car is at the 95 decibel mark, which is technically the illegal. But note, they will not hold an actual decibel reader. They will use their practice judgment to determine whether your car is on that scale or not. Now, if a cop is having a really, really bad day, they will pull you over for your exhaust and they will lead you all the way to the front of the hood. They will ask you to pop it. They will try to look for headers, downpipes, J-pipes, whatever that you have, like we talked about earlier, that is modified, and it gives them the advantage of seeing whether you have an intake that is carb legal or not. And based from what they have witnessed, they will then cite you for the loud exhaust and for affecting emissions. Note, they don't always have to see something under the hood to get you for a state ref. If they smell that you're producing a lot of gases, assuming that you went catless under the car that they can't see, they can fine you and state ref you for the emissions, which absolutely sucks. Now, I know that there are a bunch of different states and like other countries that they will give you worse treatment when you have a loud exhaust on your car, such as making your car defective where you can't drive it at all. But I think that in the United States, California has probably got to be one of the worst states when it comes to being a car guy, just because they're super, super duper strict of having no loud exhausts. And what sucks even more is that even though you have a muffler on the rear end of your car, even though they can see it, but if your car produces even the most slightest bits of sound, they can still cite you, pull you over, and they will follow you for miles until you do something to rev even higher where it makes your car scream. So let me know, guys, is California the worst state in the United States that has the strictest exhaust law? I'm not sure if there's any other stricter state, but let me know in the comment section down below if your state is super strict on exhaust laws, or if your country is super strict on exhaust laws. Now, here's another fancy law that you guys probably didn't know. It's not exactly a law, and there's not exactly a code that is specific for it, but I know a lot of people who have gotten fined with this vehicle code for having a low car. So just as California couldn't get already worse when it comes to their vehicle codes, you could actually get citated and fined for having an extremely low car. I've never actually seen any of my friends that I know getting pulled over for having like a track stance car, where it's like you have like at least like half a foot off the ground from your car, but there are people who are like static, or they drive like this. I don't drive like this, but they drive like this, or they park like this, and they have gotten citated for having their car unsafe to operate, which is part of the California Vehicle Code 24002. Now, I'm not sure if this is the same exact code that the people I know got cited for having a low car, but they definitely do use an unsafe to operate code to make your car seem like it is not safe to drive because it's low. My friend actually got a park ticket when his car was parked on the street because his car was seen as being really low, and they said that it was unsafe to operate. Now, I don't agree with it, but I do get it while how they would say that it's unsafe to operate. My only concern would be that pretend my car was parked on the street and I got that citation. My car is on air suspension, so obviously when I park it, it's gonna be aired out, and they're gonna see that it is unsafe to operate. If they give me a ticket for being unsafe to operate even though it's on air suspension, I would be kind of furious because, you know, I don't drive like this. Like, you prejudiced intellects. Like, how would you not know that this car's on air suspension? Like, how would I be able to drive like this, guys? I think it's very rare that they'll give you a citation for when you're parked, but if you're driving and you get pulled over and you're seen driving like this, extremely low, raking, you're creating sparks, you're rubbing, you're making the craziest sounds, I'm pretty sure a police officer is gonna give you a citation as unsafe to operate. Especially if they seem like extreme camber and like extreme tire pokage and like tire stretch. You'd probably get in big trouble for that. Now, this is gonna be an extremely rare one. I've actually never heard of any of my friends getting citated or pulled over for this one, but I've seen like forums and stuff like this of people getting over for these kind of devices, and it's for having any flash tablet or such thing as like my cob access port over here. As you can see, my cob access port displays all these numbers, and it kind of does look like there's stuff going on, like you're doing some illegal stuff, as if you had like boost gauges, oil temps, all this stuff over here for an officer to see. It's a very rare case that you'll get pulled over for having a cob access port hanging outside here by your window, but if a cop is having a very bad day, especially if it was like a moto cop or a cop that is lower to the ground where they can see your window, and they see this device right here, they're gonna assume that you modified your ECU, and they can most definitely cite you for that. I'm pretty smart when I'm driving. Usually I just like tug it by the cord and bring it down just to hide it a little bit, but it's highly ever the case. So you don't really have to stress about this, but if a cop knows his stuff and he knows what this is, you can probably get in trouble for this. Now, these are definitely the most basic things, the most common things that most people get pulled over for here in California. Let me know in the comment section down below, what is the craziest thing that you have gotten cited for in California or your other state or in your other country, guys? Let me know what's the craziest vehicle code or violation that you've gotten. Have you ever gotten state ref? How was it? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you guys haven't, go check out igciteclub.jp on Instagram. It's my little brand that I created a while ago, and I work with it with my friends that help me create like some awesome ideas. Very sick. We have a bunch of different like releases on our website. This is one of my favorites, something that we dropped a while ago. It is our Players Play V3 block design hoodie. And it's just really cool. It's not your normal font. It actually has a nice, I don't know how to describe it, like a rubbery, leathery texture to it, where you could definitely feel it. It's almost like it's embossed, but you can, you know, freaking see it. No scrape. No scrape, guys. I'm telling you, 80/40 is the deal. Boost weather, I'm telling you, man. You guys don't have regular McFlurries right now?
No, we don't have ice cream right now.
Oh, so they're not even the Shamrock?
No, we don't have ice cream.
Oh no. Do you guys have Frappuccinos?
No, we don't have frap.
Oh, no frap? How about a smoothie? No smoothie?
No, it's the same machine. Yeah,
Oh.
we don't have it. Sorry.
Oh.
We have iced coffee. We have.
You said you have mocha cappuccino? Bro, I came here for a freaking McFlurry. They had nothing. I went through like the whole menu and they had like nothing, bro. I swear. My gosh. Oh, no, it's okay.
No sauce?
No sauce, please. Thank you. Impressed, man. I came here for a freaking McFlurry, bro. Did I miss something? Those dudes were crossing the street, and instead of telling me to be like, okay, wait, they held up their hand like this. I was like, what the? Are you gonna slap me? I'm so mad. I came there for a McFlurry. I came back with a freaking cappuccino. Guys, I'm not gonna get a freaking McFlurry today. You know, maybe it's for a reason. I've been trying to cut my sugar and my salt lately. I've been doing pretty good. I thought I deserved a dessert, but I guess today's not the day. Okay, it's actually not the worst thing out there. 7 out of 10. Definitely better than Starbucks. And Starbucks doesn't have French fries, so French fries, not too salty today. Definitely 9 out of 10.